Hi, my name is Trejza Easton. I'm a senior at Woodstock High School. I'm 17 years old and I did my senior project on culinary arts. I chose culinary arts because I've always liked to cook and I think I'm pretty good at it, so I thought I can broaden my experience by choosing this as my topic to see if I want to do this for a career. I did my MGRP on eating disorders and I just looked up anorexia and bulimia and I researched that. So for my product, I'm going to show you that first and then show you my work blog. Okay, so basically I made 3 things. I made an appetizer, an entree, and dessert. I'm going to start backwards because with the process I had to make the cake first because it was the easiest to make first and it took the least amount of time because these 2 took longer. So for the cake, it was kind of different. I've never made a cake like this before. It's called Trejza's cake, and I chose a Mexican theme for my topic or for my genre for food because that's my favorite type of food. And when I met with my project facilitator, that was the first question she asked me. She did ask what type of food I liked, and that's what I said. So she said we should stick with that. And I've never made any of this stuff, so I decided to make the cake. And the ingredients were 5 eggs, a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, melted butter, all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, condensed milk. For after you make it, you have to pour that in there. Evaporated milk, and then whole milk and heavy whipping cream. So basically, what I had to do was make the batter first. And it's not really sweet because once it's done, you have to pour all the milk in there. It's condensed milk is really sweet. So that's why it only calls for 1 cup of sugar. And so I made that first. And while I was making that, I made the topping to go on top of it, and you make it from scratch. So that was the heavy whipping cream, and then you put sugar in that as well. So basically, it's starts as a liquid, and I didn't know this, but you just put it all in a mixer, an electric mixer, and then it turns into foam after a while for 10 minutes. And so that's how you make your own. And the problem I encountered with that was I thought since it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so when I put it in the fridge, I thought it was gonna turn into a liquid again. So basically it was trial and error. I had to put it in the fridge overnight and it ended up being fine. So that was good. And then for my entree, I made taquitos, and it went with a jalapeno dipping sauce. So with that, that took the longest. It took probably 2 hours. So I started by baking the chicken, and I did that while I put the cake in the oven. And I shredded it with kitchen scissors, and it's a pound of chicken, chili powder, salt, black pepper, lime, garlic, the tortillas, frozen corn, shredded cheese, and cilantro. So I started with the chicken and I shredded it, and the hardest thing with that was after I made all the things to put it with the taquitos, they were really fragile, the taquitos themselves, and so I had to put them in paper towel and with damp paper towel. It's kind of weird, but you have to wrap them up and put in the microwave, and then once you take them out, it's way easier to fill them so they wouldn't break apart. So I did that and I wrapped them, and the second problem I had with that was I thought they were gonna it's hard to make them without them falling apart when you fry them, so I just put a toothpick in each one of them, and then they were fine. And then the dipping sauce, it was just avocado, jalapeno, sour cream, lime, garlic cloves, and salt, black pepper, and cilantro leaves, and onion. And then that went on the side with it, and you just dip it while it's cold. And then for the appetizer, it was just salsa, and then that was a recipe that I used that it was my own recipe. And then it's just the tomatoes, lime, jalapenos, garlic, and cilantro. So that was my product, and then I'll show you the work blog. Okay, so So there's my project facilitator right here. And that was the first time we met. Not ever, like I've known her for a long time, but that's when we talked about what we wanted to make. And then I also had another project facilitator, and there she is right there. Okay, so this right here is all the stuff that was in the dipping sauce. And I basically just chopped all of it up, and then you put it in like a grinder and it grinds it all together after you chop it up. And then this is the batter for the cake, and then this is the electric mixer that I used. And then that's the cake before I put it in the oven. And then the chicken. And then that was the whipped topping on top of the cake that like I made from scratch. And then, so when I made the taquitos, like I put parchment paper on the table, and then that just kept everything from spilling all over the table. And then after I just like took it all off, and it was really easy to clean, so I just put it all in the trash. And I just laid it all out, and so I can do like more at once, basically. And then that was after. Then the toothpicks are like inside of each one. Yeah, and so that's her. And then, so after like reflecting on the scene project, I think that it was like a good experience. I don't want to do culinary arts because, I don't know, I liked it a lot, but I think that for what I want to do, I just don't think it'd be best for me and like because I want to be a teacher, and I'm gonna go to KSU to study education. So, I mean, I'll still cook in the future and stuff, but I don't choose that as my career. And then also, I learned that you can't procrastinate, because for like, if you want like a good outcome, you really can't procrastinate. And for your best work, even before, like we had to do our MGRP work and our research, and even for that, you just can't procrastinate. And then after, for the hands-on work and stuff, cooking, it doesn't really take a long time, so to spread it all out, I had to like practice first, and so that helped me a lot because I knew what I was going to do at the very end instead of waiting and pushing it all to like last minute, and then I'd have more problems. So that is what I learned about myself, and that's my presentation.